and welcome to the Profile Pod. I'm Double A, your host of the day here, of the episode, man. We're here in beautiful city of Inglewood, on location at Carnitas El Artista, right here where the Rams play, standing by with my amazing guest, Gustavo. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing support on social media, on all the platforms, man. We're now, Profile Pod TV is now partnered with my man Doc of Doc TV 33. So that's a huge announcement, man. You may have seen it on Instagram and social media. So real excited about that. And we're making moves, man. We're making moves. You can see us on Amazon Fire now, Google Play, and of course Roku. That's 2 platforms on Roku. So I'm just excited, man. I'm very humbled, and this is what I love to do. So I'm just doing the best I can. I'm in it to win it. And like I said, like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. Give me a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You guys know the deal. And, I've always enjoyed getting feedback. That's one thing I pride myself on is really making, this something that is consumable for the viewer. So my heart goes into this. So once again, show me some love, and I'll continue to create that amazing content. Let's get into the episode here, man. Let's get to brass tacks. My man is standing by right here. This gentleman is owner-operator of Carnitas El Artista right here in the beautiful city of Inglewood. He's doing big things with his restaurant, and I've tasted his food before. It's been too long since I've tasted his food. So hopefully today, at some point, I can get back into the dining area there and feast on some more carnitas. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Gustavo Chavez. What's up, brother?
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you for coming through and bringing this amazing podcast out here to Inglewood, and even just giving us the time to an opportunity to be able to talk to you, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man, and allowing me to bring my equipment in here and set up, man. This is a long time coming for me because we met back in, I think it was like April of last year, man, maybe a year ago to the month. And at your previous location, I think it was Lenox.
It was in Lenox, yeah. It was a pop-up that we had. We had started due to a closure that we had at home. So just a quick little background on how we got to where we're at now and how we met each other and how we're here now. But we first started selling food in 2013. I was selling it out of my backyard. My family's from Michoacan. I grew up in South Central / Inglewood. Parents split up, and we kind of took us in 2 different directions, and we were in both places, but we learned a little bit of everything, a little bit of something different everywhere we were at. So, I learned how to really barbecue in South Central with some of the people that we grew up with. And then we moved into Inglewood, and in Inglewood, we just kind of, grew up a little bit more and just kind of started getting older and realizing what the family was, the traditions that we're being raised with were actually about. And then fast forward to us, learning, being used to eating good food, cooking, and I used to cook a lot, and I never really made carnitas until probably like 2012.
Okay. 2012. Oh, yeah. Wow, 10 years now.
Yeah. So 2013, we decided to open up to do what typically in South Central is really common, which is people open up their homes and their backyards to anybody that likes their food, and they street vend out of their backyard.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is before everybody started doing the pop-ups in the street, these pop-up communities that are popping up now, which are awesome and great, you know what I mean, which is really dope, and it's something that that I can relate to, which I tried to, I did myself as well. We opened up our doors, we opened up our home to people that liked our food. We had a good feedback. We had a lot of people looking for that taste that we were giving them, and for us, in our eyes, and through our concept and our vision, was just to make food the way that we traditionally eat it as a family, for my family. So we did that. City got involved. They shut us down. people still kept coming to the house, leaving notes and trying to find us and see where we're at.
Where you guys at?
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we'd be sleeping, trying to sleep in on a Sunday, and we'd have knocks like, hey, carnitas. And, you know, it just kind of, it grew, you know. I mean, it just had that effect on people where people just liked it. And before we could even try to throw in the towel, we just got an opportunity to pop up in Lenox, which is where I met you and the Hood Foodie. Shout out to the Hood Foodie.
Shout out Alexander.
Yes, sir. You know, a lot of other people that came that you know that are on the food scene came and visited us there, and it kind of just put us more in a public eye view, and we just kind of generated a lot of attention. You know what I mean? And again, you know, unfortunately, we kind of went through a lot of the stuff that some of the street vendors are going through. You know, when they first start out, or when they're, you know, they're on their journey where people shut you down, people don't want you to pop up, people just don't understand the concept that you're doing. What's up, bro? Have a good one. It's customary. They all like to come by, and you know, it's continued support. You know what I mean? So the people come and they all say hi.
That's the love.
We've already seen like 3 or 4 guys come out and say what's up to us. So you know, it's a lot of the regulars that come out and support us, but we you know, like we kind of went through everything, and I understand how a vendor that pops up in the street kind of gets shut down and their doors get closed so many times, and the work that goes into selling food and popping up and getting all your gear and taking it somewhere and opening up, it's a lot of work, and a lot of people, you know, they do it, and I appreciate that kind of stuff because it's hard. You know what I mean? But we got shut down from that location too. We fast forwarded to one of my buddies sells auto parts. The owner to this restaurant has a body shop, and it was one of those ironic things where he walks in, the owner says, "Hey, I want to close this," and my buddy's a good friend of mine. He's like, "Hey, I know somebody who wants it." And you know, he put us together, and here we are. You know,
it was meant to be right there.
Meant to be.
Yeah.
A year later, exactly right.
Wow.
Now you're meeting me at my brick and mortar.
Exactly. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way, Gustavo. Yes, I was talking to your son Kevin over there, and you know, I met him a year ago. He's so much bigger now. He's taller and just he's growing, man. And it's so the family. It's a family-run business, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And how long were you in Lenox, by the way?
In Lenox, we were able to vend in Lenox for about 6 months.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I thought it was longer. All right.
Yeah.
And you had a little setup there where other vendors were popping up too with other vendors and stuff like that, right?
So what we'd so this started back at home when we were selling out of the house.
Yeah.
So you know, we would I would start the morning with about 4 casos. Each caso would take about anywhere between 200 and 250 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So that was a lot of meat to you know, to sell, to distribute. So we had a lot of people coming, and we had these long lines.
For those who don't know what a caso is, it's the big.
It's a metal copper pot. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Actually, not metal. It's a full copper pot.
Full copper pot.
So it's all copper. It's a tradition in Michoacan to use that because 2 things. The metal heats up evenly, and you can cook it low and slow, and the temperature cooks at a little bit higher without it actually burning.
Got it.
If you know what you're doing. Yeah. But so people would come, you know, we would have all this food, right, to try to sell to people, and we would have these long lines. And I would always see this, you know, when you're in a long line, the first thing that we do is we poke our heads and see how fast the guy that's up there giving out whatever they're doing whatever they're doing, and how fast they're doing it.
Exactly.
So I just kind of felt that pressure all the time, you know, and I'm like, man, I know I'm moving as fast as I can. Like, there has to be something, you know. And then I had friends that would say, hey, you know, can you share my stuff? I'm selling this stuff. And then I said, you know what? Why don't you come and put up a table right alongside of my line? That way, it gives you exposure, and it helps my customers kind of like, you know, like give them, you know, some kind of interaction with somebody other than giving all the attention on me, you know.
Yeah.
So it started with one. Then it grew on to another person. Then some other person came and they told me that they wanted to do it, and you know, that's kind of how it all started. You know what I mean? And I never got the opportunity to do it. Nobody ever really kind of helps you when you're trying to do something that, you know, you have nobody sees your vision, but you.
Exactly.
And nobody will understand it until, you know, you really get to a point where they can see you a little bit more publicly, and they can kind of see what you've been doing and why you did what you did. So So we did that. I was doing that out of my house, and then when we went to Lenox, we had a bigger area. We had some of the vendors that were already selling with me. I said, hey, you know what, guys, it's we're already selling here. It's time. We just need to take that next step and get a canopy and just kind of everybody have their own little station and stand, and we're all gonna do good. And we all kind of we all pull ourselves up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all pull ourselves up. I don't forget where I came from. You know what I mean? Like, I remember all the doors that were shut on me, and I remember how much I would wish that someone would come and help me. How a lot of these influencers, a lot of people that were already doing what I was trying to do, they kind of like wouldn't really help, and they, it just for whatever reason, and I just felt like the support wasn't there, and I just said I don't ever want to be that way. Like I'm gonna try to support whoever I can when I can.
Exactly.
So a kick to all of that, is that once I got my restaurant, like I remember the vendors were like, hey, like, congratulations. It was kind of like a bittersweet moment, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, no, it's not bitter at all. I'm like, we have a parking lot now. Now this is my location. So we're going to do we're going to do a Friday night pop-up.
Nice.
And then I don't charge the vendors to come and pop up here. I give them the opportunity to use my platform to come and vend and sell what they can. We used to have a michelada person, but we can't do alcohol here because I don't sell alcohol at the restaurant.
Okay.
But you guys will find everything other than that. You know what I mean? I even have food vendors come. I close my restaurant to try to give everyone else the opportunity to get that exposure. You know what I mean? So
That's
we
awesome,
have tacos. There's been people that come and bring cheesesteaks. Shout out to my boy, LA Cheesesteaks, fire. One of my vendors, she did it's Chubby Street's pancakes. She did pancakes, but she also does birria. So I said, bring the birria. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of my friends that do mariscos, to Marculichi Mariscos, La Carreta Mariscos, like a bunch of people that are trying to start up and that they want that, they want that help, that support, that boost, that morale booster. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I open it up, and somebody that's been really good and very helpful to all this, aside from my wife and my kids, for that Friday night pop up is Callista Fines.
Okay.
She's been a big help. Her and there's two Cindy's, and also Wendy, which is a friend of ours that we're praying for because she's she needs the prayers right now. But
good.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I know I kind of unloaded all this information.
That's beautiful, man. No, you have a great story, Gustavo, and I appreciate the fact that you never quit, man. You never gave up. You always kept going, and that's the essence of this podcast. Is that and I say it every week, man, and I'll continue to say it because I bring on individuals who are doing extraordinary things, in life, whatever the case may be. It could be an artist, a restaurant owner, podcaster, entrepreneur, and they're inspired. Their stories are inspirational, man, and you're an inspiration to me, and I appreciate everything you've done, man. Yeah, and
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, and the fact that you open up, you're welcome. You open up your doors here to other vendors, and like you say, you stay true to your word. I don't forget where the way it was. When I was starting out, it was difficult and what have you, and now here you are, helping the next person, raising them up. And how many vendors do you usually have on Friday nights?
So we've been it's my first year here at the restaurant and trying to get the restaurant going, which is a lot of work, which is something that we totally was very
Thank you, Kevin.
very Kevin over there catching some of the equipment. Some of the stuff that was kind of like out of our something that we out of our control, things that we don't know, because I never owned a restaurant. I was an electrician before I came and I started a restaurant and I became a restaurateur. But it's just kind of like getting vendors to come out. You know what I mean? We can go anywhere from like 8. We had up to 15 vendors. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And right now with we fell off like once the cold weather started coming in. And we're gonna kick this right back up because spring is here and we're ready to enjoy this weather, and we got that Cali weather.
Yeah,
so we're gonna be doing these Friday night markets again, and everyone's welcome. We give everybody an opportunity. There's really no requirement other than just to be motivated and respectful, and that's it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. And for those viewers out there, man, if you could smell the aroma right now. I've been smelling it now for about a little over an hour, and it's I'm salivating right here. I mean, Going hungry, man. I'm starving now.
It's smacks. It's smacks.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've tasted your food before, like I mentioned before. You know, and it's delicious, man. And but going back to, let's talk a little bit about the good stuff. Like, we're talking food now. You know, your recipe. Talk about your recipe for your carnitas. And is that something that is that a family recipe from back in the day, or is that something that you kind of you created it and then maybe refined it throughout the years? Talk about that a little bit.
So when I first wanted to learn how to make carnitas, I had one of my cousins. She works here now at the restaurant with us now. She helps us out here. She was actually vending out of her house and in Wilmington.
Okay.
She was making carnitas, and I told her, I said, hey, you know, prima, like, show me. I want to learn how to make carnitas. She was the closest person I can reach out to, and she was already doing it, and it was like, she's a great cook. You know, she follows. Right. She just kind of a lot of.
What's her name again? Or your cousin?
Her name is Veronica.
Veronica, shout out, Veronica.
Veronica Chavez. Yeah.
All right.
So she kind of has always like cooked the dishes that my uncle and my dad, from my dad's side, is that they were really like used to, that they, you know, that they can that they grew up on. So she's kind of like the go-to when it comes to the cooking, you know, to the traditional stuff where you can't fail her. She won't fail us. So
okay. I
said, prima, you know, show me how to cook. And she's like, okay, you know, well, you know how to cook already. You do this and you cook that, so this is going to be easy for you. So she kind of gave me a recipe on what she did, and I did a test run with it. I just kind of didn't get that flavor that I wanted.
Okay.
You know what I mean, like I didn't get that satisfaction. I wouldn't say flavor. I didn't get the satisfaction that I was looking for from the carnitas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And again, we're eaters. You know,
something something was missing. Something, yeah, just that little thing.
Just like, just didn't get the niche. You know what
I
mean?
Got it.
So I have an uncle in Salinas, which is he's married to my dad's sister. So
okay.
Es un tío político.
Yeah.
And you know, my dad said, you know what, go with your uncle. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna put you up on, you know, what you need to know, and
put you up on game,
and put you up on game. He's gonna tell you what you need to know, and él es el bueno, you know, él es el bueno. So got up there, and my uncle's like, yeah, you know, my uncle's real mellow guy. He took his time to show me and tell me what to look for, like how to clean the caso, how to put the caso down, how much manteca, how much, you know, everything that we needed to do. And he said, look, he's like, what we do here, he's like, the recipe that you're gonna get is a recipe that you're gonna get from us is something that's real simple, that dates back to when your grandparents were in the rancho, and there was not much ingredients.
Okay.
It goes very simple but very delicious.
Wow.
So you master the basics, and you will get the full flavor from the food.
Yeah.
And you know, ajo, sal, y limón. And that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow.
And he's like, you don't need to add Coca-Cola. He's like, you want to add, you know, you don't need to add oranges. You don't need to put hojas de laurel. He goes, honestly, cuando tus abuelos estaban en el rancho, when my grandparents were in the rancho,
yeah,
there was no markets. It was pretty much everybody had a lemon tree. Salt was always there, and garlic was always available. So
absolutely,
he said that's how you cook everything. You know what I mean? So so he showed me the process, and I learned it, and you know, even though he taught me how to, you know, like he showed me the process that I use now. It's like every cook, you know what I mean? I could teach you how to make the carnitas, but you're gonna just find a different flavor. Your taste buds, tu paladar is diferente que el mío, and you're gonna change it down the line. So it changes. Even my son Kevin now, you know, like I taste his carnitas and I don't taste them like mine.
Okay.
But he cooks here for the restaurant. You know, Sundays he's cooking the carnitas. Wow. He wants to take over. You know, so he's like, Sunday I'll make the carnitas, Dad.
That's awesome. Man.
The customers love them. It's a very similar flavor, but for us that we know that we're cooking, you know I can taste the difference, and you know, it just changes like that. So once I started giving out, started cooking, you know, my product, and started making my batches of carnitas, people just really liked them. You know what I mean? it's a different flavor because again, like I think it's a lot of people that they put so much stuff into the carnitas that really changes what it takes away sometimes from the natural flavor of what you're supposed to be making, and it's a little bit more of a pure taste, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, man, it's definitely delicious, man. You guys got to come taste these carnitas, and here in Inglewood, man, it's unbelievable. Now, carnitas are huge, right? In Michoacan, the state of Michoacan.
Yeah.
What is it about Michoacan, and what, maybe some of the history that you could tell us? Why carnitas are so big in Michoacan. Maybe a little bit of some trivia.
I was a little bit. I was able to understand and learn a little bit of the Tarasco history that Michoacan had. So we're for those of you that don't know what a Tarasco is, it's a tribe of Mexican Indians. We were not part of the Aztec tribe, so we were totally separate colony of Indians. Something that was found as precious metal that is found in Michoacan is copper. So the reason why the Aztec warriors and the Tarasco warriors were never they were enemies actually. So they were never able to conquer us is because we were able to. Well, our ancestors, the Tarascos were able to make weapons out of metal, versus Aztecs were always making weapons out of like stone and hedges like that. So it was heavier, and it was inaccurate to like for long distance. When they were throwing them or throwing versus a metal, versus metal.
Got it.
So and then metal cuts you a lot easier than stone. So it's kind of like one of those. It's something that I learned from back then. But aside from the warriors making their weapons and all that stuff, they also used it for like cooking.
Okay.
They used it for cultivating, their land and all that stuff. So if you guys ever been to Michoacan and you guys drive through it or know people that are from there, it's a really highly cultivated, very very rich land. Very,
yes.
There's like a lot of lemon comes from Michoacan. Avocados, as we all know, they come from Michoacan. If you have an avocado tree, that sometimes it's a good year, sometimes it's a bad year. While in Michoacan, we're lucky to have that weather, that tropical, very moist, very hot weather. So it's really good. Now in Michoacan, there's a lot of berries coming out of there. So like strawberry, blackberry, blueberry, raspberries. I have cousins that are actually farming it, so I know, and that all dates back to the ancestors
for sure.
Working the land and doing all that. But once they did it with the copper, it cooks it differently. So how the carnitas got to Michoacan, I have to look into that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen something on Taco Chronicles or something a little bit.
Same here.
But I don't know how they got to Michoacan, but Michoacan does have a city called Quiroga, and that is the capital of carnitas of all of Mexico and all of Michoacan. And I've been there, and I've met some of the longtime chefs. They've been there. I've told them my story, and in Mexico, I'm lucky to have found a lot of humble people that will actually give me the time of day and gave me tips and things to look out for and how to be careful and how to, como me dicen, cuidar las carnitas, take care of the carnitas. And, like I talked to Los Carmelos, I've talked to Jaime, I've talked to like a lot of the people that are known there. And they're,
wow,
they know. But
that's great, man. Yeah, no, thank you for those. That's a hit, man. This is another reason I do this, Gustavo. I learn something every week, man. And from each one of my guests, and that's a beautiful history lesson right there, man. And with the Tarascos and the Aztecs, and I saw that Taco Chronicles documentary on Netflix, and that's another beautiful display of history there. And if you guys get a chance to check that out, Taco Chronicles on Netflix. But yeah, man, going back to your menu, what other items do you offer on your menu?
So we totally had. So I had to come up with a very I want my concept was to have something very authentic, like very like Mexican, authentic, traditional. Traditional was the word I was looking for.
There it is. Traditional
dish for everything. You know what I mean? And then like, what is more traditional than carnitas? And how you prepare that. Like, what are people can actually say? Oh my God, they make carnitas what blank there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, you know, at the pop up we were just doing a la carte. I was just people. You know, I would have salsas packaged, some tortillas warmed up. People would get their pounds and they would leave. I never had to worry about a menu.
Okay.
Once I came into the restaurant, it was it's been one of the toughest things to figure out. But when you just put so much, you know, hard work into it, and your food is good, and you have the right mindset as far as the quality that you're trying to deliver, you know, I think we've been lucky enough to have a successful menu. And we kept it really simple, you know, because I get a lot of people would tell me, like, hey, keep it simple, like In-N-Out, you know, like they have just burgers, fries, and shakes. That's it. And soda, everybody sells soda, right? But we did something, it's hard to do simple when you're Mexican because
it's so much,
there's
right?
so much, you know what I mean? And we've tried a little bit, you know, people, those of you that have followed us have seen stuff come and go from the menu. I've offered so much stuff, and people do come and try it, and they do like it, but it's just not, like, it doesn't get popular enough to where we want to keep it on and we want to keep, like, selling it. So I went with tacos.
Okay.
Because everybody does tacos. Right? Tacos, burritos, tortas, sopes, mulitas, gorditas, nachos, fries, chilaquiles rojos, chilaquiles verdes, and menudo.
Oh,
right?
Man.
So that's just kind of like a real
good stuff.
Real general menu. But what makes it what sets us apart from
there you go
from everybody else, from every taqueria, from every restaurant that does this, you know, that does those items, because you can go anywhere and find it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I said, you know what, what's gonna set me apart is one, my food's gonna be fresh every day. It's gonna be like the best of the best, like, that we can deliver. The best that you're gonna be able to get.
Okay.
Not only in a 5-mile radius, not in a 10-mile radius. I'm talking about 15, 20-mile radius.
Wow.
I'm trying to deliver the highest quality that I can. When people think, like, you know, I want people to, like, say, hey, you know what? We go to Artistas, and when we get tacos, like, and the cilantro's like it's on point. You know what I mean? It's never, like, mushy. It's never dry. It's not been sitting out anywhere. You know, the tomato's good. You could tell it's, like, fresh tomato. Salsas, you know, like everything. Rice is made every day. Beans are fried every day. Salsas are made every 2 days. You know what I mean? And people can taste it. You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
then that's one. And then two, something that I, as a fat boy, I would go somewhere and I'd be like, hey, you know, I want a torta. You get a torta, and your torta would be like the size of a burrito, and you're just kind of like, hey, this is a torta. This should be for some reason I wanted it to be bigger, you know. I remember, like, we go to Mexico and you get a torta, and the damn torta is about as big as, you know, like, that big. It makes Subway puts Subway to shame, you know.
Right.
So
looks like a catcher's mitt.
Yeah. So I was able to source a bigger virote. So our tortas are, like, some people say they're the size of 2 tortas. Okay,
wow.
It's been rare that we see a lot of somebody come in and finish a torta, so we're giving bigger portions.
Wow.
Good portions. I teamed up with a tortilleria.
Okay.
And we came up with a special recipe for our tortillas, which is coming out this end of this month. I'm sorry, it's already the end of this month. Beginning of next month, sorry.
Okay.
And
May, right?
It's beginning of May.
Nice.
It'll be a Carnitas El Artista tortilla.
Okay.
The difference between this and every other tortilla, it's just the quality. You go to tortillerias and you go get a pack of Guerrero. Well,
right.
If anybody has a moldy tortilla de Guerrero, they can bring it here. I'll give them 3 pounds of meat. It's not gonna mold. You know what I mean? Because it's just so much preservatives, so much stuff that goes into it, and you know, it's. I tried to get as close as I could to one of those tortillas that comes out of a tortilleria in Mexico.
Oh man.
So the nixtamal it's just the corn, you know, and it's grinded in actual stone. So it's not like metally, it's not processed through machines. It's just done old school, and it's done right, you know what I mean? And you know, it's just a little bit of lime and you know, food grade lime, and it's kind of, you know, what we're doing, and that was the whole concept, is to just do something really fresh, authentic and traditional, and those are the three best words that I can really describe Carnitas El Artista with.
Wow. Yeah. All right, man. Let's go eat.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, that's amazing, man. So you made those little, you created those little. You're offering those things with your as part of your restaurant to set you apart from. Yeah, obviously we're here in Los Angeles area, and there's Mexican food everywhere, right?
Excuse me. Hey, bro, you're good right there. Sorry. Got a customer. It's kind of hard sometimes to get people parked in here because we're a small business, and we kind of outgrew our kitchen already.
Wow.
Our dining room. Well, we're out here in the patio right now, but we've outgrown our patio as well. We're processing right now plans with the city to extend the restaurant a little bit.
Okay.
So
well. You know what? You just took the words right out of my mouth, man. I wanted to kind of segue into that. The community here in Inglewood, man. I know they've been you collaborated with the city, with the Rams, and how's that been with the in this location? And talk about that a little bit, man. Tell us what you can tell us at this point in time. With some of those plans and getting into the Rams as well. You've partnered up, I think, with the Rams during the season.
Right.
So talk about some of those things about the community and the Rams.
Well, it's been one of the very overwhelming, humbling, very grateful experience for my family and I to have the Rams organization actually collaborate with us because we're small. We're really nobody's compared to the organization they are in a sense that how big they are and what they represent and all the people that actually that they influence. No
doubt.
And something that was really like moving for me and my family is when we're trying to start a business and we have such a large organization, such a respected organization that's coming to Los Angeles with growing pains of their own because they just came to LA.
Right.
They're opening up and they're going into SoFi, and even though I'm sure they're economically not struggling, but they still are trying to capture the attention and the trust of everybody that they're gonna come and impact. You know what I mean? They actually they help their community. They're here to help the community and not just come and move in and just be this great big football team in the city of Inglewood. They came and they said, hey, you know what? We're helping out small businesses, all businesses, because we are going to be attracting people and not only from the Rams NFL team, but different NFL teams. You know what I mean? And we wanna help you guys out, and we're gonna if you guys, if you guys are open to it, we can. First thing is, first things they asked me, are we Rams fans? And yes, we were. Yes, we were. You know what I mean? And it wasn't because I moved to Inglewood. It wasn't because the Rams were in LA or we were just Rams fans. You know what I mean?
Back in the day.
From back in the day, my son was actually, he didn't have a team when they were coming here. And when he found out that they were coming here, his first question to me was like, hey, Dad, can we be Rams fans? And I'm like, yeah. Why? He's like, because I want to just be able to go to games, and my biggest thing to my kid is I'm like, hey, look, bro, I've traveled for work everywhere. As I mentioned, I was an electrician. I'm like, hey,
right.
When I tell people that we're from L.A., people just don't like LA. If they don't live here, they don't like LA. Either if they do like LA, it's because they want to come here and be a movie star or a rapper or whatever. But if you're like a hometown guy and you're all about your city, you're not gonna like LA because we're LA. You know what I mean? There's so much to hate on us for.
Right.
But I said yes, and I said I rep the Dodgers. We're Laker fans. We are we're
that's right.
We're Rams fans. We're Kings fans. You know what I mean? And we root for the Clippers, too, when they're doing good. We'll root for any team in L.A. And it doesn't matter if it's Clippers, Lakers, Dodgers, not the Angels. But, we are an L.A. team. We're an L.A. family. And my son said, I want to rep L.A.'s dad, and I want us all to just get jerseys and go to the games. And I said, let's do it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So we were fans, before any of this was even in our horizon, or we even knew this was going to happen. You know what I mean? So they came, they offered that support, and they said, hey, we're going to certify you guys as a Rams house.
Wow.
I didn't know what that meant to me. I was like, hey, you know what? This is kind of I told my wife, I said, we gotta get ready for this. This is gonna be kind of like a Super Bowl party without it being a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna deck it out. So we had a whole Rams theme through the whole restaurant, the whole patio area. When they came, they were blown away.
Wow.
They were blown away. They came and they gave us 500 shirts for all of our customers. So we were giving away shirts for about 2 weeks.
That's really cool.
When they highlighted us as a young business in Inglewood, we were one of the only restaurants doing Mexican food during the time, and there was a montage made, and we were featured at the Bucks versus Rams game, at the first Bucks versus Rams game at SoFi Stadium.
Okay.
So there was a 15-second montage. People were coming in there. After that, the Rams put us on their website, their social media. I mean, it was crazy, you know, like we were getting support and business flow that we were not expecting to get, that we very desperately needed as a new business. And even not only just Rams fans again, because it was true what they said, you know, we would have teams that were playing the Rams come and say, hey, you know, we heard you guys are some of the best food to eat in around SoFi. And that was the next thing that came. We were featured on LA Taco, on Thrillist, on Eater LA, one of the 10 best places to eat while you're visiting SoFi. So Carnitas El Artista made it to number 6. Right now we're at LA Taco Madness. I don't know if you know about the Taco Madness that LA Taco is doing.
No, I haven't heard about it.
Okay, so LA Taco is doing the 32 best taquerias in LA.
Oh, okay.
So we've already made it past the first, second, third round. Right now we're the final 8.
Oh.
So if you guys you guys go to LA Taco and vote for us. Best taco in LA right now. We're 8 runners up. So it's 8 of us running up, and we're there. And
Go vote for El Artista, baby.
Yeah. So vote for us because the food is good and because you came and tried it, not because you're we're telling you to. We really want you to come and check out our food. But we're just kind of moving in that direction right now. You know what I mean? So the Rams have came and they've shed the light on us. It's helped a lot of other people like really see who we are. It's shed a lot of light on my son too. That's been doing carnitas. He's also been crowned by White Claw and LA Taco as LA's youngest carnita master.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of blessings, man. A lot of blessings, man.
Wow. I got like people like you willing to come and hear our story, and we're grateful. We're grateful to everybody, and every customer that has ever came has been really the reason why we're here.
No doubt about it, man. Yeah, no, that's amazing, man. That's a very shout out to the Los Angeles. Let me add the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams, and for doing that and helping you guys out along with other businesses, small businesses, and I know they do a lot of other stuff in the community in the greater Los Angeles area. For the Super Bowl, did you guys have a big party here, Gustavo? Or
we did not have a big party. I know a lot of people were expecting it, but unfortunately, we're still growing, and I want to be able to offer the full party experience. And we all know that everybody likes to have their little little michelada or nice little cold beer,
right?
Tacos. So that's the next phase that we're moving into right now.
Okay.
Is with the expansion of the restaurant. We're adding another restroom. We have to make it ADA compliant. It had to be ABC compliant, so we can apply for that license that we need to be able to vend the alcohol as well. But yeah, we're gonna definitely be having some parties out here once our Rams are playing again and we're ready to go get that. We're running it back.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna go get that Super Bowl championship again.
That's right.
And we're gonna keep it here in LA. So
yeah. That's why I wore my hat, man.
Right on.
Exactly, man. I've always been a big Ram fan myself, and going back to the '80s for myself. When they were playing it down in the OC down there in Anaheim, and but that's great, man. That's great. I wanted to touch on your name a little bit. How did you come up with the title of your business, the name of your business?
So the name of El Artista, it came. My grandpa gave me that name.
Oh, okay.
And my grandpa had like nicknames for all of us, you know, like it was something that he just kind of he just started just handing out nicknames to everybody, you know. And my grandpa got a little bit older, and I got my I'm gonna explain how I got my nickname El Artista from him. He was the only one that called me that. None of my other friends would call me that. Nobody ever even knew that I was ever referred to as El Artista until I opened up the restaurant. But my grandpa got older, and we ended up he ended up getting a little bit of memory loss.
Okay.
So he would kind of forget our names or wasn't able to pronounce the names sometimes. Like my sister's name was Kimberly. She's rest in peace, by the way. He would call her Triwili.
Okay.
Because he couldn't say Kimberly. And then I named my son Kevin after one of my electrical mentors. He just I don't know, just wasn't in his vocabulary. Kevin, you know, because my grandpa's from the rancho. He's super old school.
Exactly.
He's like El Venadito. And you know, and it was like it was just kind of like those kind of names that he would just kind of come up with.
Right.
So when he got a little bit older, and I would my grandpa would come and visit us, because it was crazy. He would forget a bunch of stuff, but he would never forget the buses he would need to take to make it down here to Inglewood or Hawthorne, and you know, kind of come and just visit us, you know.
Right.
So he would just he would make it down here. I would offer him a ride back, because I didn't want my grandpa ever getting lost on his way back home. So then I would take him, stop and get some groceries and stuff, and I would run into people that I knew. You know, we'd talk to him, and he'd always say, like, you know, he's, you know, when you're a little older, I guess a lot of us that's, you know, that interact with older people, they're just kind of impatient. Yeah. So, you know, they just want to get to where they're going. They're not trying to see their grandkids say what's up to the whole world. So then my grandpa, I would get back in the car after I've been done talking to my friends, and he's like, ¿Y tú qué eres, como un artista o qué? And I would just be like, yeah, grandpa, soy un artista. So he would just laugh, you know. He's like, okay, mi artista. He would call me his artista.
Oh.
And then, and that would be his thing for me, you know. He's like, hey, mi artista, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? And I'm like, good. So when I did the carnitas, you know, everybody has these names, you know, like Carnitas Michoacán or Carnitas El whatever, you know what I mean? And I said, you know what, I'm going to just do it El Artista after my grandpa. My grandpa was still living at the time, so I just kind of figured it was something unique, something special. It wasn't really because of, you know, I just didn't have another nickname to go by, or the ones that people would call me. I didn't like them. But yeah, I just said Artista, and then, you know, my grandpa passed away, and now the name is definitely a lot more significant to me. It means a lot more to me. And
love it, man.
That's where that name came from.
Yeah, man, I like that name, man. And when we first met a year ago, I thought that was a really cool name, El Artista. Okay, yeah, it's just different. It's unique.
Yeah, everybody always asks me if I know how to sing or something. I'm like, no, worst singer you'll ever meet. I sing in the shower and that's it.
Do you paint at all or anything like that?
Nothing at
Draw?
all. Nothing.
Oh man.
But, you know, once I kind of like I adapted the name, and I just kind of took it in. I started just really like saying like, wait, you know, well, my name, other than the great, you know, reason why I have it, the history that I have it, that has behind it, like, what is my name? What is an artista? You know, what is an artist? You know, and an artist is like, it's a work of, it's a unique, and it's a unique specialized art way of work.
Exactly.
And it's carried out through an artist. You know what I mean? Oh. So I figure that cooking is an artistry too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I carry it out in my food. So
someone who creates, you know,
yeah.
a creator, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. No, I love that, brother. I love that, man. And what would you say, Gustavo, as we wrap things up here? What would you say to somebody who's an entrepreneur, right? And they're trying to find their way, and maybe they're struggling in their business right now. And what would you tell that person? What advice would you give that person, man, as an entrepreneur to another?
The best advice that I can give, and this is for an entrepreneur. This is for anybody that has any kind of ambition or goal, or is working on anything that they got going on in life, regardless if it's something for, like, you know, for personal gain or for someone else. Just don't give up. You know what I mean? If things are, if you really have to, you really have to pay attention to what's going on around you, and do not ignore the signs of what you're supposed to be doing. Because if people are supporting you if people are behind you, whether you think whether it's big or small, um, nothing stays small forever. You know what I mean? You can make it grow as much as you want, and just don't give up. I never thought I was gonna have a restaurant. I had a full career as an electrician.
Wow.
I didn't have the need for supplemental income because of my trade. I was in my trade for 16 years, and it just called me. And the signs that were around me was when people would, like I mentioned, people would come and knock on our door and still look for the carnitas. My son would always ask me like, "Hey, Dad, when are we gonna sell food again?" People would come and even when we were going, we had people that covered food that were coming and covering my food and were actually still like supporting me in a sense to where I would just be like, hey, you know what? It's like they were all signs for me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, hey, if these people are coming out, then that means that what I'm doing, there's something here for me.
Something there.
And it's the same thing for anybody that's doing something. Don't give up. It's not easy, but it's definitely it's gonna be there for you. You know what I mean? And you're gonna take it as far as you want to take it.
Just stay committed. Stay just one day at a time, huh? If it's your passion, keep going. It's that simple. It's really that simple, right? I mean,
yeah, it is.
But like you said, it's not. It's easier said than done. But when it's your passion, I mean, like they say, man, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're doing something that you love.
I know I work a lot. But yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's something I do want to mention before we let the viewers get on with their day is when we're touching back on like the advice that I give to someone, what advice I would give them is the main thing is nobody is ever self-made. Okay, nobody is ever self-made. You can as far as like yourself, I know you with what you do, I'm sure that you need someone at some point you need somebody.
Absolutely.
And at some point I needed somebody. This may be Carnitas El Artista, and yes, I'm El Artista, but without my wife, without my 2 kids, without my family, without customers, without people that came and actually supported us and pushed us to where we were at, this wouldn't be possible. So, it's not self-made, and when you have people supporting you, you definitely appreciate those people and give back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that keeps you humble, and that will teach you that, it's like it's always going to be, you always need somebody. So nobody does it by themselves.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. You always hear that expression, oh, yeah, self-made millionaire, self-made. No, you're right, man. That's a great point, man, because, yeah, I mean, you mentioned there's so many people that in your story that are continue to be instrumental, pivotal in your success, and your wife, like you said, your son, family, organizations, the Rams, et cetera, the customers. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. And you can't forget that, man. And I'm in the same boat, man. There's people out there, there's certain individuals, and that are supporting my movement and business and what have you. But yeah, no doubt, man. No, hey, Gustavo, man, you have an amazing story, brother. I want to thank you for coming on, man. Before we go, where can tell us your address here. Where can they find you on social media, websites? Plug everything you got going, brother.
All right, guys. So if you guys want to, our strongest social media platform right now is going to be Instagram. So it's Carnitas El Artista on Instagram. That's it, just Carnitas El Artista. We're located in the city of Inglewood, 510 North La Brea, Inglewood, California, 90302. We do all types of food and events. We are doing fundraisers for the city of Inglewood. We help when we can, and we definitely are a community, family-owned business. And we appreciate everybody that's ever been out here. But yeah, Instagram is the strongest one. We got Facebook and everything. Call us and we'll answer. That's the thing. So Carnitas El Artista in Inglewood, California.
Boom, there it is, man. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, come by here. Come grab a torta, tacos, whatever, man. You just My man, he'll hook you up here. It's delicious, and I can't wait to go eat. I'm gonna go eat, man.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'm hungry too.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for coming on, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is Kevin around? Maybe we could give him a quick shout out. He could jump in again.
I gotta go run and get him.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have Gustavo Chavez, Carnitas El Artista, right here in Inglewood, California, man. Kevin, come on over here, brother, real quick. We're gonna bring on his son. His son is the, he's gonna run this place one day. As you can hear the sirens in the background. Let me get you in with a shot of you, Kevin. Here's the man right here, Gustavo's right hand man. This is Kevin, his son. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to bring you on real quick because I know you're such an important part of your family business here with your dad, and so I wanted to give you a shout out and so the people can see who you are. And how's everything going, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Yeah. This is Kevin Chavez, son of Gustavo, and like I said, man, I want to thank you for being who you are and being an inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely, man. So for Double A, myself, the Profile Pod, Kevin Chavez, Gustavo Chavez, come out to Carnitas El Artista. Come eat some good food. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, share all the content. It's all good. Subscribe on YouTube. That's one way to support Carnitas El Artista. We'll see you guys here. I'm gonna go eat. Kevin, is the food? I'm ready to eat some carnitas, brother.
All right, I'll hook you up, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Thank you so much for being here, wherever you're tuning in from, YouTube, the audio platforms. It's always a pleasure being your host here. Once again, thank you, everybody. I'm Double A. We'll see you soon. And always remember to take it easy. Thanks a lot, Kevin.